Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Jason. I'm your watch guy today. Today I'm reviewing a watch from Sugess. Now Sugess are a company that are linked to plenty of other brands on the Aliexpress market, one being Seastern, and we know that I love Seastern. This watch has been sent to me by a subscriber by the name of Craig. Craig, thank you so much for sending this one in. You know how much I've been after one of these to review for a good while now, so thank you very much. This will be back with Craig by the time that this video goes out, and I hope that he has enjoyed his night at the darts with it. If you'd like to pick one of these up, I have a link in the description. Now that's an affiliate link. If you use that, it does give me a little bit of a kickback and it really helps the channel. But I am forever grateful for that. I am also really grateful if you could subscribe to the channel as well as leaving a comment in the description. I'd love to read through them. With that out of the way, let me turn this camera around and let's get into this review. This good looking number is from a brand called Sugess. Now you may have heard of them before. They are one of the better brands on AliExpress. You'd probably put them in the same type of category as a San Martin, a Chronos, and of course Seastern, which they are linked to. Now this is a homage to the Breitling Top Time Juice, which is a collaboration with Deus Ex Machina from Australia, I think that's about right. It's an absolutely beautiful piece, and it comes in at a really affordable price of £170 or around about there on the Sugess official store. Now Sugess are linked with a brand that I really do enjoy called Seastern. That's how I know that they are a really good quality brand. The prices aren't as cheap as the usual type of Cadison, Pagani design, the likes. It is a little bit more expensive, however, it's definitely worth it. Let's talk about the diameter of this piece. It is 39.7mm here to here. I believe Sugess have it listed as a 40mm, so yeah, not far off. 13.4mm in thickness. Lug to lug, we have it nailed on at 50mm. The lugs here are 20mm, and they will fit a plethora of different bands and bracelets if you'd like to switch this one up. But I do think that this orange band really does set the colours off in this dial and on this watch itself. Now it's packed with the Seagull ST19 movement, which I believe was a Venus. Well, it was from a brand called Venus. The Chinese bought it out and made it their own and mass produced it, as they do. And now we have really affordable mechanical chronographs on the market, which I don't think is a really bad thing. A chronograph watch will usually set you back quite a bit, considering, well, when it's a automatic anyway, or mechanical for that matter. But these ST19 movements really do keep costs down. The entire case is fully polished throughout, and it does have a little look of the Chinese 1963 chronographs that you've probably seen all over YouTube. If I flip it over to the back for you here, you can see that this is a display case back, and it shows off that absolutely beautiful seagull movement. One thing that I always say about these seagull movements, I could wear this as the front face for any sort of watch. I just think that's an absolutely beautiful thing to look at. Around the outside edge, we have usual information. One of those pieces of information will be the water resistance of this piece. It is 50 meters water resistant, which I don't think is a knock on this, because it is a chronograph. It's not meant to be a dive watch. It's not meant to be submerged, to be fair. Over to this hand side, we have the double pushers, which are in a piston-like design with a simple coin edge crown. The crown itself has a star logo on the outer edge there, which is pretty similar to the red star logos on the Chinese pilot pieces that we have come to absolutely adore over the last few years. I really do enjoy the mechanical feel to these chronographs. They just feel so effortless. It's almost like the difference between an automatic car and a manual drive car. You just feel the difference with these. That mechanical click is just something a little bit special for me. We have a slightly domed sapphire crystal fitted to this one, which really does give a very nice effect to the eye, very aesthetically pleasing. We have slight levels of AR coating on here, as you can see as I turn it to the ring light there. Now, as we move into the dial itself, it's an absolutely classic look. Very vintage aesthetic to this one, which does suit that Breitling Top Time Homage type of aesthetic. We have a beige dial in the center, which almost has a golden glow to it. We have these curve edge squares for the sub dials. Now, again, that is a very nice effect, very different to the usual type of design on a chronograph, and also gives it that 60s racing type of vibe for me. We have the usual vinyl record effect in the center of these sub dials that you may be able to see once you catch the light on there, with the usual white printed measurements on the outer edge. The indices on this one are applied. They have a stainless steel polished effect border to them with a lume center. As you can see on the 3 and 9, we have shortened indices to fit those sub dials in. Up at 12 o'clock, we have the Sugess logo. I'm actually quite a fan of that Sugess logo. It's simple, yet very effective, and it doesn't really get in the way. It does what it's meant to. Down at the 6 o'clock, we have mechanical chronograph printed to the dial also. We have a very intricate looking minute track printed to the outer edge of the dial. And then beyond that minute track, we have a very bold border around the outer edge of this one. Really makes it feel like a much smaller diameter than it actually is. Now, the outer edge is the tachometer display here, and that's a very common display for a racing style chronograph. It measures the speed of a car usually, or that's what the idea is. A nice effect to that is the orange and yellow colour over to the crown side here, over on the right hand side, almost like it measures to give a limit, like when you're driving your car and you get to the higher revs. I just think that's a really nice effect to this design, and obviously we don't owe that to Sugess, we do owe that to Breitling. The handsets are very 60s in style. As you can see, the sub dials have a squared center to them with that very thin pencil second ticking away there, and over here on the minute side. That's one thing to mention. This is the minute side for the chronograph, and over here we have the ticking second hand. Well, I say ticking, the sweeping second hand. That smaller second hand really does give a nice effect. As I tick this over here, we have a lovely lightning bolt effect second hand. That is the thing that really did draw me to these watches. I'm a big fan of that style to a second hand, and even more so to this chronograph second hand. Really nice sweep to that. Again, that mechanical sweep. Let's stop that. Click that back. Very nice. The handset on this one is very simple, rectangular handset. We have a yellow border which plays very well with the rest of the dial and the motif of this watch. We have a loomed center on this one. As I say, very simple rectangular hands which reach pretty much to the right type of level that I would expect. One thing you'll be wondering is how's the loom on this one. So let me get the lights out and we'll show you. Okay, so one thing to mention is that the loom doesn't have the widest base area to get that spread on it, get a really nice level of loom on there. However, they haven't done a bad job. The spread is pretty even. I can't see any patchiness. The dial is much more dull than the handset here, but that's probably usually to be expected. Now, this chronograph, well, exactly that. It's a chronograph. It's not a dive piece, so we can see why it wouldn't be a nuclear level of loom, but it is a good level. It's a very visible level, and it's definitely a functional level. So I'm definitely going to give Sugess a pass on that one. I'd say probably a 7 out of 10 for the watch that it is. So we move to the band, and I think the band is one of the best features to this watch. And I don't usually say that, but it's a very supple band, very well fitted, very nice on wrist. We have a really lovely brushed buckle on this one with a C-Stern logo. As I did mention, those two brands are linked. We have two keepers, quick release spring bars on this one. I really just love it. Let me pop this on wrist. Another thing to mention is that Sugess did send out a stainless steel band with this one also for me to pop on. Well, not for really for me. I think that for whoever buys these watches, obviously I didn't buy this one. Right, so I am on the last hole, which is a thing to mention. Very easy fit to wrist. It is a long lug to lug, however the lugs are curved, and with this band being so easy to fit to wrist and so comfortable on wrist, it really does make the watch much easier to wear for me. I really do like this one. I've really enjoyed having it in, and Craig has definitely got himself a fantastic piece to wear. Let me switch this band out for the stainless steel that they sent, and then we'll get into the Moan section. So this band definitely gives this watch another dimension. It is quite nice, and it's nice of them to include this. Now I have left the plastic on this one because I do want Craig to have something to unwrap himself when this one gets back to him, which will be this week. So yeah, they're going to stay on there. It really does give it that other dimension. I do quite like it. So very well fitted from Sugess. Well done to them. Let me pop that back off and we'll get into this Moan section. So I'll be deadly honest with you, I absolutely love this watch. I'd recommend it to anyone looking for a mechanical chronograph. But where do my moans lie? Well, firstly, the band, funny enough. So I think it's a fantastic band, I really do. But one thing that did strike me as odd is that C-Stern logo there. I understand that the brands are linked, but it kind of cheapens the Sugess watch with it having someone else's band on it. I just think that's a bit weird. They should have really swapped that out instead of just picking it up from the parts bin, I guess. And secondly, one thing to note is that this is a very high polished piece, and it's definitely going to scratch up very quickly if you wear it on a daily basis. That's one thing to note, and yeah, maybe would have been nice to have seen some brushing on here. Aside from that, I think it's fantastic. I really do. I think that they really nailed the homage here. Obviously, this isn't a design that's credited to Sugess. They have homaged the Breitling top time very heavily here. So, yes, we owe that design to Breitling. However, fantastic way to carry this off and really blend it in to the 1963 type of line too. That mechanical pilot line, I really do like how they've done that. So well done to Sugess. Thank you to Craig for sending this one to me to have a look at and review. It'll be back to him very shortly, and I'm sure he's going to absolutely love it, as I have for the last couple of weeks. So guys, there we have it, a mechanical chronograph homage to the Breitling top time. Now that Deus Ex Machina collaboration with Breitling is absolutely beautiful. It really is, and I think that they got so many tonal hints so correct in that watch. This being a much cheaper alternative is much more accessible to people like myself and you, and that's what I really do love about these homages. Now, again, thank you, Craig, for sending this one in. I really do appreciate it. If you would like to pick one of these up for yourself or look at any of their other watches, I have a link in the description. That'll take you to the Aliexpress store. And if you do use that link, I do get a little bit of a kickback. That really does help the channel, and I am very grateful for that. Also, if you are not already subscribed, I would appreciate you doing so. It's the best way for you to see my upcoming content and any of my older videos. Thank you for watching this one, guys. I hope to see you in the next one.